guys, it's Amy coming to you from Center, and today I'm going to be walking you through Aaron Mattis's active isolated stretching for the hamstrings. It's a great idea to perform both the psoas video that is up in the library as well as the low back release, the single leg pelvic tilt or the double leg pelvic tilt before you get to the hamstring stretch. So you will need a stretch strap for this. If you don't have a stretch strap available to you at home, a waist belt will work, a large bath towel, or just simply a piece of rope. You don't have to be fancy about it. And so you're just going to simply lay face up to the ceiling. We are going to begin with the right leg. And so if your low back feels testy, you can bend the left knee and keep the left foot flat on the ground. My low back feels great today, so I'm going to extend my left leg long. And so what you'll do is you'll lasso the foot, and I like to kind of come right below the ball of the foot. And then I think it's really important here that we're using the body properly. So you're going to see that I'm kind of anchored down a little lower on my strap. I've got my elbows anchored to my waist and my ribs. And again, this is going to really hold my collarbones open and allow me to use my back muscles instead of just relying on my biceps and my pecs and the front of my shoulder. So as I inhale, I bend right knee into right pec. And as I exhale, I'm just going to straighten the leg. I'm going to hold with that quadricep, which is the antagonist to the hamstring, 1001, 1002. Now, don't judge yourself where that leg is going straight today. Your leg may go straight out here, and that's okay. You've got to remember, I've been stretching for a long time, so I may be a little more flexible than you. What I am looking for, however, is that the knee goes completely straight, and that if you tap that quad, it's hard to the touch. So inhale to bend, exhale to extend, 1001. 1002. You should find that every time you straighten that right leg, it comes a little closer to you. Now, this is just the distal hamstring stretch, so your hamstrings attach below and behind the knees. You're going to feel most of that there, okay? But we're going to change the angle, and that's what I love about Mr. Mattis's stretching method. So I'm going to have you turn your right leg out. In other words, now my right toes and my right knee are pointed to 2 o'clock on the clock. And now I bend my right knee into my right armpit. And as I exhale, I straighten it. And so I end up feeling more of the stretch on the medial or the inside back of the knee. Inhale to bend. Exhale to straighten. And just a gentle reminder that the reason we love this active stretching is we fire the core every time we exhale. 1001, 1002. You're doing your best to keep that right leg turned out. At home, you could do as many as 10 to 15 of these. I'm not going to be doing as many here just because we have so many to walk through. So the next thing is actually working on the turn in. And I think what really helps here is to take your stretch strap and wrap it outside of the calf. That way it helps you to encourage your right toes to kind of point a little bit more towards 10 o'clock on the clock. So as I begin this stretch, my foot and my leg are a little bit more in line with my sternum, my breastbone. And so I inhale, bend my right knee in towards my left pec, and then exhale to straighten, 1001, 1002. With this turned in position of the leg, you're going to feel a little more stretch on the outside, on the lateral part of the back of the knee. You can still use both hands if that gives you a little more assistance than it does for me. Just remember, you're going to keep your elbows anchored down. 1001, 1002. We'll do 2 more. And 1 more time. And then we're going to go to the proximal stretch. And so what that means is we're going to be stretching a little closer to the point of origin of those hamstrings, which is your sit bone. That's that hard butt bone you feel when you sit on an unpadded bleacher. So we find parallel, and we kind of turn this into more like climbing a tree. So we reach the right leg out for blood flow. As you start to bring that right leg back, you're going to keep it straight. Your only sin would be to bend it. You're going to notice that I'm climbing hand over hand. I'm going to pull that leg as far back as I can today without bending. Hold, 1001, 1002. And then I release it back out for blood flow to speed the healing. And so you pull it back. And sometimes I'll also grab lightly behind the calf to lift and give it a little extra stretch. You're thinking about a pound of pressure here. Let's do 3 more of these parallel proximal hamstring stretches. And you should find that on each stretch, you're able to get that leg a little closer towards your nose. You'll see that I'm making some progress here myself. Again, at home, you could do 8 to 10 of these. I'm going to keep these at about 5 each, just for to keep the length of this video a little shorter. And so now we're going to take it to internal rotation. So if you need to, you can go back to wrapping the strap to the outside of the calf, which I do think helps. So I reach it out for blood flow. Now, as I bring the leg back, you'll notice my toes are turned in towards 10 o'clock on the clock, and I'm pulling my straight leg back towards my breastbone again. I hold 1001, 1002, and I feel that stretch all the way down the lateral side of my right leg. So I'm feeling it more on the outside. 1001. 1002. You'll notice I'm still really connecting to my back. I'm keeping my collarbones nice and open. Core is engaging. 1001, 1002. And we have 2 more like that. Just kind of climbing the tree every time that leg comes in. Again, you'll notice I'm using my right hand for a little assist. It just gives me a little extra. And you don't want to overdo it, just light pressure. Now, after anywhere from 8 to 15 of those, we're going to go to turn out. Now, I am going to shift out just a little bit for this one. It's a little more complex. So the right leg is going to externally rotate, which means I'm back to pointing my right toes to 2 o'clock on the clock. And this is like a 2-step process. So step 1, I bring my right leg to vertical over my right hip and turn out. And then step 2, I reach across towards my right foot with my left hand. And keeping that leg both turned out and straight, I pull my straight right leg over towards my left shoulder. It's very intense. So reach it out, bring blood flow to it. Step 1, bring it to vertical. You'll notice my quadricep is really engaged. And then I pull it towards my left shoulder. 1001. 1002. This is really tight for me. So you'll notice I'm not getting it as close to my nose as perhaps I did on the other stretches. 1001. 1002. Again, we release it out and turn out. You bring it to vertical and turn out over the hip. You reach across with your opposite hand, which is my left hand. Pull it towards your left shoulder. You'll see that shake I'm getting here. And then one more time. And I thought I'd give you another option for coming off the floor. So what you're going to do is roll onto one side, use your hand, use your elbow, gaze towards the floor to really take care of your neck as you come to seated. Now, clearly you would want to do all of those same stretches on the left leg. So just simply rewatch the video, switching to the left leg. And I hope you enjoy it. Have a great day and stay centered.